Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and today we're going to take a look at some more Japanese tournament results. These are now featuring cards from Stellar Crown as well. So I'm going to pull up the proxies as well. This is the website PokemonProxies.com, which has a bunch of cards from sets that aren't out yet. It has Stellar Crown here, and it has Shroud Fable Night Wanderer. This is out at the time of recording and posting, but also it does have that. It doesn't have certain other cards, so you could look at the website PokeBeach. That's one I'd recommend, but it's not as easy to navigate as Pokemon Proxies. But anyway, we'll be looking at this set, this site for the set. So I looked at part one. I think it was a few days ago now. Might have been like a week ago, but these have the new cards from Stellar Crown, including some interesting ones. We looked at a lot of really good ones last week. I feel like these are going to be worse, or last video, this same like week of articles. So got Arceus V-Star here. It looks I was gonna say pretty normal, but that's not really true. You got some slightly interesting things here. We actually have like a lot of interesting tech options. But honestly, oh no, now we're back to the me not knowing what the cards are. Okay. So we see like, Pokemon Search and damage buffs and like tech tool cards. We see the Cornerstone Master upon EX. And honestly, a bunch of different Pokemon that you can use to attack with. I think that's Crispin as well. Crispin allowing you to accelerate an energy from your hand to your Pokemon. I don't recognize this card. Is this Ultra Ball? This might be Ultra Ball. I'm also going to look at Limitless TCG. Um, oh, those images are big. I reset like my like data here and how I can't see this. Okay, yeah, I think that's Ultra Ball. I'm not 100% sure. If someone would let me know down below in the comments, I think that's Ultra Ball though. With a timestamp, you don't have to leave a timestamp, obviously, but I definitely sometimes forget what I'm talking about, like throughout the course of the whole video, when I look back days later at like comments. But anyways, yeah. So this is like kind of interesting. Arceus V-Star is also it's kind of a weird deck. Of course, it's a V-Star, right? So, but it accelerates to Pokemon V's and not EXs, and EXs are quite good. But we do see some EXs in the deck. This is Arceus and Gudra V-Star. This is a deck that I think is kind of fun. I don't really play it much, but it's a cool deck. You can see a bit clearer here. And we see Lake Acuity. We see some defensive options. We see Monkey Door with Darkness Energy as well. Mist Energy and Hero's Cape and a bunch of defensive things here. Next up, we see Lost Zone Giratina. Just one list here. By the way, these cards are... I don't believe any of these are in the deck. That is Pheasantipti EX. And I actually I don't know what this Pokemon is. This one right here between I think Pheasantipti and then what I assume is Cramorant. But yeah, we see it's pretty. I think it's just pretty normal Lost Zone Giratina stuff. We do see Unfair Stamp as well as the Ace Spec. That's pretty interesting. I feel like normally you'd want some switching Ace Spec, right? Because you want to switch a lot with the deck. And we don't see that many switch cards, I don't think. I mean, well, no, we see 4 Jet Energy and then 4 switch cards. So it's pretty fair. I'm not a big fan of Jet Energy. There's no rescue board, but then we see Tool Jammer, so that kind of makes sense. Also, we got Lugia V-Star with Chinchino. This looks pretty normal. Lugia Chinchino it's a very good deck right now. It's a pretty powerful one, and this list looks pretty similar as well. Of course, we have like Blood Marshal Luna EX, Floater Rain, Iron Hands EX, and then Lumineon V as well, which can use Legacy Energy to loop that. Then this next list. Okay, this one's pretty interesting. So this is actually really cool. We have Lugia V-Star with the Archeopses. Those take up a lot of bench space. That's one of the issues with the deck. But we have the new Stadium, Area 0 Underdepths, which says if you have each player, if they have a Terra Pokemon in play, they can have up to 8 bench Pokemon. And that's pretty much all the text. This bottom section is like explaining stuff, but so that you can have up to 8 bench Pokemon. Of course, Trapagos. Oh no, sorry. We have 2 Terra Pokemon. We have the Trapagos EX, which has an attack. It does 30 damage for each Pokemon you have in play. Sorry, for each of your bench Pokemon. You can't use a turn 1 going second either, or turn 1 going first. Of course, it's an attack, so it's still a solid option. And then you have the Wellspring Master upon EX for either gusting or for sniping. And then we actually see Iron Thorns EX and Iron Hands EX with Lightning Energy, so that's kind of cool. And we see Lumineon V. We see the Knocked Out line as well. I've talked about this line a bunch, and I love it so much. I'm so excited to play it. It has this ability, Jewel Hunt. It's a stage 1 on play. Assuming you have a Terra Pokemon in play, you can search your deck for any 2 trainers and put them into your hand. Of course, trainers are very good, and yeah, I mean, they're good in every deck, right? So, assuming you have a Terra Pokemon in play, which List runs two of, and you should search out relatively easily. You may need a little luck on capturing a Roman, but it shouldn't be that bad. Then you can go ahead and just get that going. Oh, and is that Miriam? I think that's Miriam. That might not be Miriam. What's the supporter? But yeah, I was gonna say I think it was this Miriam art, but I don't think it is. Anyways, if anyone knows what this supporter is, I'm not familiar with it. I don't think it's an Japan exclusive art. Or is that a Jacques? No, sorry. Let's see. Oh, that is Jacques. Okay, I was like, the name looks similar. Okay, so it is a second copy of Jacques. So yeah, very, very good deck. I'm probably gonna skim it through most of these. I feel like they're not gonna do anything crazy in the lists. That was like more the more exciting the most exciting I was expecting. What does this have 5 Lumineon Vs? That I'm definitely not seeing this right. Oh no, that's Lugia V. But they run an Irida. Sorry, the reflection made that look blue. But yeah, we got Lumineon Vs and Iron Bundle and stuff. So Irida and Lugia, which is kind of interesting. I think I've actually seen that before, but it's not that common. Anyways, next we got Dialga Matang. This stack, you just have Dialga V-Star, you have Matang. Yeah, you just attack with Dialga, you get an extra turn with your V-Star power once during the game. It's definitely a deck that I think is pretty linear. It's not the most linear deck, but then we do see the new Stadium, which is actually in the game right now, which is Knight Academy, which lets you put a card from your hand on top of your deck, which can be, of course, Metal Energy, which you're guaranteed to hit with Matang. So that's a really nice upgrade. It increases the consistency, which I really like. And this is a crazy Dialga list. So this is titled wrong, of course. So we got Bayet with okay, so I'm trying to figure out. So there's a mistake in this article. So this is obviously not Dialga Matang. There are no Dialgas or Matangs here, but this is Bayet Monkey Dory. By the way, the other two below it are just pretty normal Dialga Matang lists. But this we got Bayet EX, which item locks, and we have Monkey Dory to move damage around. We have Calamitous Wasteland? No, yeah, Calamitous Wasteland to increase the retreat cost. A basic Pokemon by 1, which is pretty cool. We have Handheld Fan and a bunch of disruptive cards, the ones I said. We also see Frostlass to sprinkle damage around the board, and then of course Monkey Dory, and you can do a lot of different things here. I have not played Bayet with Frostlass and Monkey Dory. I've played a lot of Frostlass and Monkey Dory decks, and I think they're pretty fun. They're a little sketchy sometimes, but Bayet doesn't have an ability, which is really good. And this looks pretty cool. Obviously not so fun to play against, but pretty cool deck to play with. You have Regidraco V-Star, Ogerpon. This one plays Blissey EX as well, and Glass Trumpet. Okay, this is really cool. We see Blissey EX moves energy, by the way. And the attacking options are Dragapult, Haxorus, no Kyurem, which is surprising, but Northern EX, Vigibolt EX, and Suringudu V-Star, and of course you have like Blissey EX, Tilmascoropon EX, and Dragapult, or sorry, Regidraco V if you wanted or whatever. But this is pretty interesting. Glass Trumpet says if you have a Terra Pokemon in play, it's another one of these cards, you want a Terra in play, you can search your deck for up to you choose 2 of your bench colorless Pokemon and search your deck for basic energy and attach it to each of them. So you want to search your deck and attach 2 energies to 2 different Blissies. And so then you're getting 2 energies in play. You move them off onto whatever, probably Regidraco V-Star. This card's really good. Glass Trumpet's really powerful. There's only 2 copies in the deck. It's very much like Mirage Gate, but you only need 2 copies. I mean, I feel like more could be useful, but also you don't need all of them. You just need to play 1 or 2, and then just playing 1 gets your Regidraco V-Star set up. But of course, you do need the Blissey EX is in play, which seems like a decent amount of setup, but also like they're not squishy Pokemon, so your opponent's not gonna be able to like board wipe all your Blisseys or anything like that. Next, wow, this is at a weird angle. So we got Dragapult, pretty simple. Well, no, this is pretty like normal to standard. We actually see it Giratina V that sometimes sees play, but that's there is to hit through walls and pretty normal Dragapult. No, sorry, Regidraco. I keep saying the wrong one. Pretty normal Regidraco stuff. We do, of course, have the Dragapult, which is probably the main attacker, but a bunch of other ones. The Kyurem, Visitipty. I'm going to, I think, cover this deck on my own because I think it's a really cool deck. But, yeah, we'll see how good it's going to be in the meta. It's certainly looking like a top 5 to top 10 deck. I don't think it's the best deck right now, but it's pretty close. It's a very good deck. And yeah, as I said, it gets a ton of additions. We got Night Stretcher, we got the Pheasantipty EX, we got the Kyurem we have in this list, we got Haxorus. So just a ton of additions from the expansion Shrouded Fable, which is the mini one, not the newest set in Japan, but it's the newest set internationally. In this list, again, pretty similar stuff. We do see Hallelujah getting tossed in. Kyurem, if you don't know what it does 110 to 3 air points Pokemon. You do need to discard all the attached energy cards, but that's like not that bad. So you just do a ton of damage, but 110 isn't enough to one-shot, say, Barrel on the bench, right? That has 120 HP, and Hawlucha will allow you to do that extra 10 damage, so that's quite nice. Then we have, another list pretty similar. Certain like tech cards and stuff being swapped around, but similar ideas. I do like Haxorus. I think Haxorus is fun. It instantly knocks out Pokemon with special energy. I'm not going to scroll to it, but it does that, and then it has an attack that does solid damage, but yeah, still oh, and then no, I think that's Prime Catcher. Never mind. I thought there was some other race pack. Yeah, let's move on from Regidraco. I don't think I'm gonna miss much. This is straight Regidraco. This is literally the same deck. Okay. Then we have Ancient Box. Ancient Box is, it's okay. This one running Koraidons, not always played, but it's just Ancient Box. Okay, I have no idea what this ace spec is. Like, I can't see any of the card. Okay. Anyway, so it's like pretty normal Ancient Box stuff. It might be Secret Box. I think it's Secret Box. Anyway, so then we see Roaring Moon EX, and then we see a Fire Energy for Koraidon. So some kind of interesting things here, but wait, only one Fighting Energy? Oh wow, okay. I would definitely play 2 Fighting Energies, and no Fire Energies. But actually a Festival Lead. This is the Dipplin Thwacky deck. I've talked about it some before. Not too much to say. It's a pretty boring list. The deck's like kind of cool. It's kind of a cool deck, but also, like who's playing this in standard, right? It's not the best deck. We got Lost Zone with Blood Immersion Luna. This is just like a Lost Zone list. Looks pretty normal. We actually see Copy Hassle, which is just a draw supporter. Doesn't see a lot of play, but is kind of a normal draw supporter. Most of these look pretty normal. Of course, you can play a lot of different tech options and attacking options. We see Iron Valiant EX, which is pretty cool. We see Crispin. We see which accelerates an energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and then searches your deck for an energy of a different type. Wait, no, sorry, an energy from your deck to one of your Pokemon, and then gets an energy of a different type pushed into your hand. So it's like half a Mirage Gate. It's kind of worse than Mirage Gate, but of course you don't need 7 cards in the Lost Zone. It is a supporter though. Then pretty similar stuff. Of course, Blood Immersion Luna being in them. And then we got Radiant Charizard in this one. And we got Hassle again. And yeah, also I've like never seen this Nest Ball art. I don't even know if this Nest Ball art is available in English. I don't think it is. I'm going to quickly check. I don't see it here. So anyways, let's move on to United Wings, the deck right now, which has the Ditto, which doesn't work in Pokemon TCG Live, but we got United Wings. So I think that's 1 Rowlet, 2 Squawkabilly, a Pheasantipede, a set 3 Dittos, a Tatsugiri, and a Manaphy. So the 1 Rowlet is one of the interesting decisions. Rowlet evolves into Dartrix, but anyway, this is more of a Shrouded Fable deck. So we got another list here. This one running Liepard, discard 1, draw 2. This is a card that I feel like isn't played very much. It's played some. I think it's probably played more than most people think, but still not that much. It's discard 1, draw 2. It's the same as Kirlia. Doesn't have the stage 2, doesn't evolve into anything, but then it does have more HP and better attacks. At least the stage 1 does compared to the Ralts attacks are probably better than the Purloin. I'm not actually sure which Purloin that one is. That Purloin is this one. Okay, they're pretty boring, but yeah. Also so Squawkabilly, of course, it's very good. Discard your hand, draw 6 cards the first turn of the game. Also Secret Box, really fun ace spec. Can get kind of scary though. But then you have Collapse Stadium. This is really good to get out your Squawkabilly. Always try to do that if you can. Then we got Bayet EX. So these are other decks. Some weird formatting stuff. This is Bayet EX, very similar to the one we looked at earlier with the disruptive options. I don't think it's quite the same, but it's pretty similar. Then we have Blissey EX with multiple Ogerpons. This is pretty cool. I think the Ogerpons are fun. We got Mew EX, it looks like, and by the way, I think Mew EX is really good in Blissey EX. The big issue is its HP is really low compared to Blissey. It has 120 less HP and gives up the same number of prizes. That's crazy. So that's obviously not the Pokemon you want hitting the board all the time, but we got Roaring Moon EX, which of course damages itself a lot, but you could potentially Monkey Dory off of it, and you're playing Darkness energies anyway, which I guess makes a ton of sense. It's just a powerful one-shotting option. We see Glass Trumpet as well to accelerate a bunch of energies, which energies, energy acceleration is really hard with this deck, and we do see the new stadium, the area 0 under depths to expand your bench, which also seems really powerful. And we see the oh sorry, I think I said there are two fighting Ogerpons. There's one fighting Ogerpon, one water Ogerpon, and what looks like Hoopa EX. I feel like Hoopa EX is kind of weird. I guess it's like weakness, like diversity, but also like it's a fighting Pokemon, uses darkness energy, but you also play fighting energy, but then the fighting Pokemon doesn't hit fighting weakness, so now your darkness energy Pokemon hits fighting weakness. So it's a bit weird, but of course, Master Ogerpon EX is really good. And the Water Ogerpon, Wellspring Master Ogerpon EX, is a really interesting inclusion. Honestly, part of it might be here. A big part might just be there for boss trapping, or like gusting up your opponent's Pokemon that they can't attack with and getting it stuck there. Or also, of course, you have the snipe attack, but then you have the stadium. You need Terra Pokemon. Although Hoopa EX is Terra, then the Ogerpons are both also Terra. But like Gouging Fire, Mew EX, and Blissey EX, none of those are Terra. Yeah, I was like, did I say the right thing? Yeah. It doesn't need to be stellar, which I don't think we're. Oh, okay, we found a stellar Pokemon. Also, what is going on here? I can't see this card at all. I'm gonna zoom in a little. I think that's Radiant Greninja. That might be Entei, Super EX. I can't tell what that is. I don't know. There's a bunch of different like Terra Pokemon. We have the Stadium. Then we have Glass Trumpet. Oh no, that's That's probably Galvantula EX. It says Galvantula EX. I'm gonna skip this list. It looks pretty like crazy. What are like? Why do people just put? Okay. So you got Galvantula EX, Galvantula EX, and Blissey EX. I think this is the main way to play Galvantula EX. Galvantula EX is super. It's potentially like the best attack ever, but only if you can actually pay it consistently. It's Fulgurite for Grass, Lightning, Fighting. It does 180. Discard all energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. They can't play any item cards from their hand. That's a ton of not like an absurd amount of damage. It's the same as Blissey, but it's okay. And then Item Lock. So that's really brutal. You do discard all the energy though, but then you have the you have Crispin here to accelerate, but then you have a Glass Trumpet. You have 4 copies of that. We also have Power Hourglass. No, what's it? Power Glass. Let me pull up Power Glass. Power Glass, also a really cool name, or just like fun. At the end of your turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active, which is your attacker, presumably you are Galvantula, but it can be whatever. You may attach a basic energy from your discard to it. Hopefully it doesn't get knocked out, and then from there you can move the energy off or keep it on. And we have the Glass Trumpets to accelerate energies to your Blissies. This is the same combo as with the One Reggie Draco deck. And then you move the energies off of the Blissies or your Barbarrels. They're colorless, but probably just accelerate them to Blissey. But put them on your Galvantula. Joltik also has an attack. Oh, okay. Galvantula EX has an attack Charged Web for Lightning Colorless, 110. But 220 if your opponent's active is an EX or a V. So this is going to be one-shotting most basic Pokemon V or EX. And then almost all of them, to be honest. And then also you have the Joltik, which has its attack Battery Charge for 2 colorless. Search your deck for up to 2 basic grass energies and 2 basic lightning energies and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. This is quite good because Blissey EX also costs 3 colorless energy, which could of course be lightning or grass or mixture or whatever. So that's really cool to see here. But yeah, Crispin. Oh, I'll pull it up. I kind of like butchered the explanation. So search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards of different types, reveal them to your opponent, put one into your hand, and attach the other to one of your Pokemon. I feel like the ordering of the cards here is kind of weird, or the sentences and like the way it's explained on the card as well, but it accelerates energies, so or one energy, and you want it in a deck where you have multiple different types of energies. Next, we got Cinderace EX. Cinderace EX, I definitely think is okay. I don't think it's bad. Its stats are pretty good. It's fire, so it's going to be up a bit more. It has 2 attacks, Flare Strike, which you can use. You can use both attacks here. But Flare Strike, 280 for Fire colorless, and next turn it can't use Flare Strike. Then we have Garnet Volley. By the way, this has Free Retreat, but for Fire Fighting Darkness, it does 180 to one of your opponent's Pokemon, including bench Pokemon. That's pretty good snipe, and it doesn't discard the energy, unlike most Pokemon that are similar to it. So you can go ahead and snipe your opponent's Pokemon over and over again. It's really difficult for them to deal with, especially if you get a certain Pokemon stuck. We also see Entei as an attacker. We can charge your Pheasantipty EX, which you could maybe attack with, but it's hard. We also see Neo Upper Energy. Garnet Valley, of course, is pretty awkward to power up, but you could do Magma Basin plus the Neo Upper Energy to pay it in one turn. So that's pretty cool. I think Cinderace EX is definitely a deck that's pretty cool. Not my favorite, but also I know some people are going to really love it, and I don't I definitely don't dislike it. I think it's pretty fun and okay, not super strong. This next list looks pretty similar. We see the new ace spec called I think it's called spec. No, what is it? Sparkling Crystal. There we go. The attack cost of the Terra Pokemon this card's attached to is reduced by one of any energy type. So then you can Magma Mason to your Cinderace, attach a tool, and get another energy, either a Darkness or a Fighting. And so then you can use that to power your attacks. And so that's pretty nice. I think Sparkling Crystal is a really good card. Honestly, I think it's kind of broken because it allows for some really insane and much easier combos. You can attack with Dragapult EX much easier, and you can attack with any Terra Pokemon easier. You wouldn't need it on Charizard, but pretty much on any other Terra, it's quite good. This one is similar. We see Monkey Dory. I don't think Monkey Dory. Oh, we see one in this stack. I guess we see one in both decks, but Monkey Dory is pretty nice. Heal off Magma Basin. 320 HP is decently high. It's pretty high on Cinderace. Obviously, most Pokemon have less than 300. Stage 2, it's like average for a Stage 2 EX, but still quite good. I think it's going to play kind of like Charizard Pidgeot. The big issue is Charizard EX accelerates energy to itself, but also its early game damage output is much less. You snipe. The amount of snipe damage you do is the same as Charizard EX's regular damage. So this is pretty insane. Next up, we have another list pretty similar to Monkey Dory's. We got Brier as well. I don't know if Brier's been in the other list, but yeah, I think that's Brier. But no, that's Boss. But Brier is a pretty interesting supporter. Honestly, I think it's kind of broken. It's quite strong, certainly. You can only play this if your opponent has exactly two prize cards remaining. And it says, until the end of this turn, if your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from one of your opponent's Terra Pokemon's attacks, take one more prize card. Hopefully we don't get a Pokemon that knocks out, excuse me, a Terra Pokemon that can attack twice, because you could reuse this, essentially, but this is pretty strong. You're never really going to get value out of it playing more than one of this, but this is really, really incredibly powerful because, of course, taking extra prizes, especially near the end of the game, the prize race could be tight, but this will allow you to take an extra prize, which is so good. With Dragapult EX, you can one-shot a two-prizer and then also snipe their bench Pokemon. The bench damage doesn't interact with Brier at all, but you can knock out their active, and then you can take 4 prizes, knock out a single prizer on the bench, knock out a 2-prizer in the active for 3 prizes. Brier is really, really powerful. As it says, it's only the active, so if you're using Cinderace EX with this, you're going to be using the first attack, but you could do 180 to their active, but 180 snipe, Brier won't do anything, but still really, really powerful card. We see some more stuff here. I don't really need to go into this list too much. We do see the Mimikyu and Luminous Energy, though, which I like, but next we got Hydrapult EX. Hydrapult EX is a pretty interesting deck. Hydrapult EX has its ability here called... Is it like Sweet Syrup, or am I just imagining that? No, the attack Syrup Storm, which does 30 and 30 more for each grass energy attached to all your Pokemon, and your ability Ripe Charge. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic grass energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon if you do heal 30 damage from that Pokemon, and you have very high, not absurdly high, but certainly pretty high at 330 HP. You're Fire Weak as well, which is not that bad. You pair very well into Charizard EX because they'll struggle to knock you out, and you'll just heal off damage. We also see Brier here with the Teal Mask Ogerpon EX. This pairs perfectly with it. They both accelerate energies and do more damage based on it, and they're pretty cool. Honestly, Teal Mask Ogerpon EX is almost as good as Hydrapult, and it is a basic, but still, the high HP is really what you want to lean into with Hydrapult EX to get like the full value. And it's a Stage 2 deck, so it's pretty good. All right, so it is strong. Is it good enough to, overcome being a Stage 2? We certainly have very good Stage 2s right now, but we'll see. Dipplin, though, also is pretty cool for 1 grass. It does 20. It is immune to damage done by basics during your next turn, which is really nice. Excuse me. Then we see this with Toedscool EX, which does... I always forget how Toedscool's damage is calculated. Toedscool EX, though, has... Colony Rush, which says the attacks, this attack does 40 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon that has grass energy attached with 80 base. We don't see the stadium to increase bench size, but you could do that. But of course, you need lots of grass energy in play. But Toedscool EX is still a pretty solid attacker with like these new cards. But yeah, we see a lot of similar things here with the Hydrapult. I think that's the other Dipplin as well with the Festival Lead, which is like an option, I guess. Kind of a funny concept there. We also have We have Scoop Up Cyclone to take advantage of the high HP and the healing aspects. And we use Fissure and Lilligant V-Star to set up, to get energies, and to get Pokemon, which is pretty cool. It's V-Star Power, lets you search for 5 in any combination of basic grass energies and Pokemon from your deck. The Pokemon don't have to be basics. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think Hydraple's cool. Speaking of cool, we got Iron Thorns EX though, which is not cool. Let's be honest, right? It's just ability lock, but ability lock is good. We got Crushing Hammer. We got just a bunch of really powerful disruptive cards here. This card, is that Kofu? I don't think that's Kofu. That can't be Kofu, right? That's what it looks like. I think that's Kofu. So that says put 2 cards from your hand onto the bottom of your deck, then draw 4. That's pretty interesting, actually. Draw 4 is, pretty interesting. It's a concept that's talked about a lot in the Pokemon TCG community, and this is a deck where you don't need the cards immediately, but having them later could be really nice. Also, I think is that Full Art Gita? That might be. No, that's not Full Art Gita. Never mind. I don't know what that's. Oh no, that's Lysander, isn't it? Or Boss Order's Lysander. Yes, Boss Order's Lysander. It's like, whoa, Gita. No. But yeah, we got Pokemon one Pokemon catcher. Yeah, I'm definitely not entirely sure of all the. Oh wait, no, that's an energy lotto, I think. Maybe that's not. I'm not entirely sure. I'm gonna need your help with this card. But we got Heavy Stone. What's it called? Heavy Stone, Gravity Stone. If this Pokemon is in the active, the retreat cost of your opponent's active is 1 colorless and more. You have Handheld Fan, a lot of very powerful disruptive cards. You got Healing with Penny. So I mean, yeah, this deck it's still a solid deck. Of course, like kind of sketchy matchup spread. It really depends what you're up against. You're never gonna be Mimikyu with this deck. But we got Pidgeot EX Control, and wow, this is weird. This is like Pidgeot Snorlax. Specifically, we see 3 Snorlaxes, 2 Mimikyus. We see a Chewy EX with a couple of fire energies. There's some pretty honestly tame Pidgeot Control stuff going on here compared to some of the other stuff you might see. But still, I think Pidgeot Control is a pretty cool deck. I know some people don't, but I think it's cool. Here we got Teal Mess Oropon EX Toadschool with the Hydrapple again, focusing. Actually, no, it only runs a 1/1 Toadschool. I feel like it's the same deck we looked at before. Here we got, wow, this is pretty interesting. We have the Fan Rotom making an appearance, as well as Block Snorlax. But the Fan Rotom has its ability also as an attack. The ability Fan Call on your first turn. You can use this ability, search your deck for up to 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less, reveal them, put them into your hand. You can only use one of this ability really per game. Then the attack Assault Landing 70 for 1 colorless, assuming there's a stadium in play, and we have that stadium to expand your bench. I think 2 copies of that. We also have the stadium to contract benches. We have just a bunch of different options, and we do have the Noctowl line as well, which is pretty cool, and Scoop Up Cyclone to allow you to reuse the Noctowl, which I really like. Then we have Weird Year V, we have Hisuian Lilligant V-Star. Next we got Tinkaton EX though, with its just get a big hand to do big damage. You have the single price Tinkaton. This is definitely not the best deck in the game, but we do have Fizzendifty EX, which is nice, and a Dunsparce. So big hands punish your opponent, or just be able to pop off and do massive damage, right? Then we have Airzu as well to get a bunch of evolutions, which then are just straight up damage as well. Similar list here, we actually see Fan Rotom to grab yourselves a bunch of Dunsparces, which is kind of fun, and Pidgeys as well. So actually, yeah, that's pretty cool with the Dunsparce, Pidgeot, Fan Rotom package. We get Origin Form Palkia V-Star. We've definitely talked about this deck before, but it does damage based on bench Pokemon. You just get a big bench. The grass Pokemon looks like Teal Mess Oropon EX, which is pretty interesting. Kind of a weird combo. This list runs Scizor. I think Scizor is a really good Pokemon with Palkia as well. This is not really focused on the big bench at all, I don't think. I don't think these cards are in the deck, so this is interesting. This is a little weird to me. But you do have Radiant Greninja, so I guess you're focused on single price attacking options. This one's just a normal, I describe as a normal Palkia list with the big bench. We have multiple different Ogropons and things like that. Then we have Omastar V Credilli. Omastar V sets up Credilli, which has its ability and attack. On a coin flip, it either it does 2 special conditions. I think it's on heads. It's okay. Never mind. If heads, you choose one of 3 special conditions: burn, confuse, or poisoned. So if you get 3 heads on your turn, you can do 3 special conditions. Marshy Winds does 100 for each special condition affecting your opponent's active. We do have Dangerous Laser to to burn and confuse him as well. Binding Mochi, so I guess you can poison yourself. I'm not entirely sure. This deck definitely seems like kind of weird and not very good. Oh no, yeah, then we have the Brute Bond. Oh yeah, the Brute Bondage are the full edge here. Then you can poison yourself, deal more damage. So kind of cool. We have Blade Marshal Luna. This is a standard deck. It's not like super interesting. I know some people who love this. I've talked about it a bunch in the past though. Then we have Comfy Control. What? Okay, this is not a deck I was expecting to see. So Comfy is here, which says each player draws 3 cards. It forces your opponent to draw 3 cards. Then you can Hand Trimmer or Zerosix Machinations them to force them to discard a bunch of cards. And we see Mawile and Mimikyu and the neutral center stadium, so some pretty crazy stuff there. This is definitely a deck I'm going to try out. Probably, it seems kind of bad. We got the Pogos, no, what is it? Rotos deck, which says, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put any supporters you find there into your hand, which is like a weird Pokegear. And so, this deck looks really cool. Also, what is that card? Is that, that is Gravity Stone, it looks like, that right there. So you're also trying to like trap stuff, of course, and then mill, but mill by forcing him to draw. So really cool there, including cards that we don't have internationally, which is kind of funny. We also have Future Box with. Okay, this is really cool. So Future often uses Lightning Pokemon and Grass Pokemon, mostly just Lightning. But here we see the Joltik, which gets the Lightning and Grass energy from your deck. We do see a Miraidon, but 4 Joltiks, which is really cool. As another way to power up because you often struggle to get enough energies in play. Riding gets 2 and it does some damage, but now you can get 4 energies, which is really, really crazy. We got Great Tusk Mill. It's good old Great Tusk Mill with a new tool card, Gravity Stone, to increase their retreat cost to trap stuff better. We also have another list here, pretty similar. Off Brute Bonnet. This is a deck that's talked about some in standard right now. It looks like it's not getting too much new. But we do see the Walking Wake EX here, which is kind of cool, as an attacking option as well, which I think is pretty fun. Then we have Snorlax Mill. I don't know why this website calls it Snorlax Mill, but it's Snorlax Control or Snorlax Stall. Same thing. This deck is, I've talked about it a lot. I feel like people are probably sick of hearing me talk about it. Certainly sick of playing against it, but it's very, very good. Though isn't getting that much better with the new set. But then we have a Venomoth Frostlass. This is like Bayet Frost we looked at earlier. It's pretty much the same thing. Then we have more Venomoth Frostlass. Then we have Wugtrio Mill. Unfortunately, the image is not here, so you don't get to see it. Yeah, and I don't have Twitter. I actually do have a Twitter, but I don't use it. And then I said I reset my data and stuff, so it's not here. But Wugtrio Mill is not the best deck. I know there are fans of it, but let's be honest, it's not that good. But Comfy Mill, Joltik Future, we got some cool decks, but I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell and joining the channel as well. But I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.